17 people shot dead at a Florida school. Tonight, the local connection to the shooting.
Do you and your kids know what to do in an active shooter situation? We'll show you step by step how to make a safe escape.
A 27-year-old woman donates her kidney to a stranger, all to help a friend. And now this chain of love is crisscrossing the United States on this Valentine's Day.
Strong winds of 40 miles an hour and higher gusts in Pyeongchang. We're going to take you there to show you how the weather is having major impacts on the games.
How could this ever happen in this country? How could this happen in this state? You come to the conclusion this is just absolutely pure evil.
But first, breaking news tonight. Florida Governor Rick Scott addressing the horrific mass murder of 17 people at a South Florida high school. Right now, we're learning some of the victims of Parkland's Marjory Stoneman Douglas High. They've been identified, and among them, a football coach. We also know the state is paying for the victims' funerals, and there will also be grief counselors available beginning tomorrow morning. You know, every night on the Late Feed, part of our mission is to answer the question, why? I'm afraid that question will not be answered and frankly cannot be answered tonight. 17 lives were taken this afternoon, some of them children shot and killed in their own high school. So tonight we'll report what we know, we'll try to give it some perspective, and hopefully continue a conversation that should not stop until there are no more bullets flying in our schools. 2:30 p.m. Broward County authorities respond to a call of an active shooter at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Students and staff heard gunfire erupt around the school's scheduled dismissal time. But this cell phone video tells the terrifying story of what students were experiencing inside. About 45 minutes after the initial call, authorities announced the shooter is not in custody. More students can be seen running from the school, hands overhead, as SWAT teams move in. At this point, the school is reporting multiple injuries. Medical crews can be seen tending to the wounded. By 3:50, news of the shooting had made its way to Washington as President Trump sends this tweet offering prayers for the victims, saying no one should ever feel unsafe in an American school. Minutes later, shortly after 4 o'clock, Broward sheriffs announced they have the suspect in custody.
He was taken into custody, I believe, about an hour after he left Stoneman Douglas, after he committed this horrific homicidal, detestable act.
At 6:30, Broward sheriffs identify 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz as the alleged gunman. After his arrest, Cruz was taken to Broward North Hospital, the same location where 8 of his alleged victims were taken for treatment. He was later released and taken to the Broward Sheriff Department. This is the last video we've seen of him as he was escorted into the building. And here's what else we know about the shooter. He was suspended from Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. The superintendent of schools says he is currently enrolled in Broward County Public Schools. One friend said the shooter always had a gun on him, and his Instagram, which has been taken down, showed weapons and ammunition. Florida Senator Bill Nelson says he wore a gas mask and used smoke grenades during that attack. Today is February 14th, folks, just 7 weeks into 2018, and this is already the 18th school shooting in America this year. The database, everytownresearch.org, tracks shootings across the country, and out of those 18, 7 were intentional shootings that caused injuries or deaths. Amazingly, during the chaos, panicked students stopped to tweet, snap, and post their social media. Ryan Kruger takes us inside this terrifying ordeal.
As those students were hunkering down inside their classrooms, many of them pulled out their phones and started recording this horrific event. We have 5 different videos that I want to show you, all posted to social media, showing different aspects of the scene. We're going to start inside the classroom. This was a Snapchat video that was sent. I want to warn you, the sounds you're going to hear are very graphic. Now here's another video that's also very similar. You can also hear the gunshots, but pay attention to the breaths that you're hearing from these students. It's simply chilling.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Take a look at this video. You see all these students, they're anxious, waiting for someone to come in. This is actually the very minute that SWAT team members come inside.
Put your hands up, guys. Please. Put your phones away.
There are also videos that were posted of what appears to be the high school auditorium. Students were in there. SWAT team members were on stage looking around, trying to clear the scene. Those were all the videos inside the classroom. There was a lot of chaos and confusion outside the school as well. This one, you see, this was just someone who was driving by and noticed all of these SWAT members that were posted up on top of a bridge overlooking the school. And then finally, take a look at this video, which shows just hundreds and hundreds of law enforcement personnel there. We're talking local sheriff's office that we knew were there, ATF, FBI, a lot of law enforcement presence trying to make sure everyone was safe. And it wasn't just the horror that we saw. We also saw a lot of messages of hope. Students who were tweeting, doing Facebook, Instagram, letting everyone know they were safe, which hopefully was able to calm the fears of many of their parents.
All right, thanks, Ryan. You know, today's shooting hits close to home for one family here in Metro Atlanta. The granddaughter of a Marietta family was actually shot multiple times. Faith Abube talked with them tonight.
Yeah, there are so many people in this Marietta community tonight praying for Maddie Wilford and her family. I spoke with her grandparents who still live here in the Metro Atlanta area tonight, and they tell me the family is overwhelmed. Meanwhile, her mother, Missy, is in Florida tonight, sitting by her daughter's bedside in the hospital. This is Maddie. She and her brother were at the Parkland, Florida high school when the shooting happened. Her brother is okay, but Maddie was shot several times. Here's what her mother posted on Facebook this afternoon after she found out her daughter had been shot. She wrote, quote, "Dear friends and family, Maddie is in the hospital. She's alive, but she has been shot several times. Please, please, please pray for my beautiful daughter." You can almost hear the desperation in her post. For several hours, Missy could not get in touch with Maddie. Tonight, the victim's grandmother tells me she went into her second surgery a few hours ago. Other family members here are making plans right now to head to Florida in the morning to be with her. And meanwhile, Missy's small Marietta High School class of 1991 has already started a GoFundMe page to raise money to help the family. So far, you can see there on your screen, it's raised more than $3,000. And tonight, the Marietta High School family, they're all praying for Missy and Maddie and the entire family, sending their well wishes for the young girl to feel better and get well soon. Tonight, just in the last few minutes, we've seen several of Missy's former classmates post on social media that Maddie is now out of her second surgery and is now in ICU. We'll, of course, stay in touch with the family and bring you updates as we get them.
All right, thank you, Faith. Shootings in schools, at work, in churches. So what can you do? Tonight we called in Chief Rodney Smith, an expert whose job it is to train people for just those types of situations. Here's the scenario. We're in the hallway. I'm going to the classrooms and the doors are locked.
Okay, where's the shooting coming from?
That direction.
All right. We need to move. We need to run as fast as we can because it's hard to hit a moving target. Let's go.
All right, here's the scenario. We're in the classroom, teacher and all the kids. The shooter is somewhere out there. What do we do?
All right, first thing you need to do, you need to secure that door and lock it.
Door's locked. What's next?
Next thing we're going to do, barricade the door, put as much stuff on top as we can, barricade the door, keep on piling chairs up, so on and so forth. Bring them over here, back them up.
All right, we're barricaded. Now what do we do?
Now, what we're going to do is you're going to hold this chair up, and you're going to use it as a weapon. Now I'm going to use mine as a weapon.
Just in case he makes his way through.
Just in case he comes in, we're gonna get him with our chairs. And of course, the rest of the students are all going to be up there as well with their chairs. Use it as a weapon because you got to fight. You've got to.
Don't sit in the corner.
Exactly. Don't sit in the corner and hide. Don't get underneath that desk. You're going to fight.
And we find out that the shooter is actually outside. Do we go back in?
All right, what you don't want to do is go back in because the doors might be locked, there might be people coming out, so on and so forth. What you want to do is get away from any kind of glass area. Projectiles might go through that. Now, understand situational awareness, very, very important. Knowing the area, where is our exit point, so on and so forth. Is there fences over here? Is there an exit point over here? If they are shooting at you, the best place to go
Got to get cover.
We got to take cover, okay? So what you want to do is if there's a car nearby, get behind the engine block.
The engine block?
Engine block, right behind the engine block. That's the best place to be.
All right, now, let's say there is no vehicle and we looking for cover, there's no cover. What do we do?
All right, so now, here's where situation awareness comes in. You have to understand your surroundings. You can't go up there because there's a gate, fence, so on and so forth. There's another fence down, so where's our nearest exit point?
Nearest exit over there.
Let's go.
Our 11 Alive digital team staying on the story to bring you the latest updates as we get them on 11alive.com.
I'm Natisha Lance with your Speed Feed. Well, we have some good news tonight after an abducted girl is found safely. Authorities say Heidi Todd was taken by a home intruder on Wednesday evening. Officials believe the intruder beat the girl's mother, who is now in the hospital. Today, the 4-year-old girl was found 360 miles away in Alabama by a local police chief who spotted her inside a vehicle.
She was a little nervous. She did have on an adult hoodie, which was, you know, out of place for a child that age, and adult pajamas, and so that just keyed my interest to get her out of that vehicle.
The driver of that vehicle sped away before he could be taken into custody. Police have released the sketch of 37-year-old Thomas Evans, who is now wanted for kidnapping. He is believed to be in a stolen blue 2010 Chevy Impala. The city of Locust Grove released pictures of slain Officer Chase Maddox's newborn son. Bodie Maddox was born on Tuesday, and today the newborn and his mother were escorted home from the hospital by a caravan of local police officers. Bodie's father, Chase Maddox, was shot and killed last week while attempting to serve a warrant. The 26-year-old will be laid to rest Saturday in McDonough. Police in Douglasville are warning to lock your doors while pumping gas. A group of thieves called Sliders have been stealing from women distracted at the pump, quickly slipping into the passenger side door to steal their purse and their credit cards, then driving away before they even realize it. Police are urging drivers again to lock their doors. Marietta, now the second city in Georgia to pass a distracted driving ordinance. The hands-free driving bill passed today with a 6-to-1 measure. Under the bill, you'll be allowed to answer a call, hang up a call, or even open a navigational app. But for everything else, you'll have to use voice commands, and texting would obviously still be illegal. Now, if you can't follow the new rules, you'll then get hit with a $150 fine. This measure is almost exactly like the Smyrna hands-free driving law, which passed last month, and state lawmakers are considering a similar bill right now at the Capitol. I think it's a good move, Vinny.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the bottom line is, you want to be safe, pay attention to the roads. I mean, it's that simple. Thanks, Natisha.
You're welcome.
Hey, Team USA on edge as skier Michaela Schifrin finally hits the slopes, but she'll have to come from behind to win gold. Plus, Chloe Kim's special Valentine.